Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Desert Adventures in Arizona, coming to you from a wet southern Arizona desert. We got some rain yesterday, some nice drizzle for a number of hours, and we ended up with almost a half an inch. This morning I got up and I saw this out the back door. This is Ragged Top Mountain. And so I told Oki, I got to put the drone up and capture this. So I sent the drone up and got plenty of video of these clouds kind of hanging around Ragged Top Mountain. It's a rare event here in the desert to see something like that. So that's my backdrop today. We're celebrating rain here in the desert. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. I've got my coffee cup here. This is Smoky Mountain Blessed and artist and storyteller Donnie's cup this morning. My allergies are kicking in, so excuse me if I'm coughing. Let's see who we have here this morning. John P. Adventures popped in. Welcome, welcome, John. Hope you're doing well. There's John from Sooner Travels. He's been dropping videos of his travels. Good to see you, John. He's been all over the country. Patty's here. Good morning, Patty. Welcome, welcome. Ava Potterfield and Friends is here. Good morning, Ava. Always start Monday morning with Ava on the TV and chatting with friends. CR View is here. And welcome, welcome members. Appreciate your support. Watching a Desert Adventures in Arizona members only video. Ooh, I wonder what that was. Ava says, I hope everyone's having a great Monday. We are. Boy, we have really suffered for lack of rain here in the desert. And it'll be a matter of 2 to 3 days, and this desert's going to green up nicely. And hopefully we'll get some more. We typically don't receive rain here in June. In fact, very rarely. I think it goes back to like 1986 since we had rain in June, but we got some yesterday. There was a storm down in the Mexico area that pushed the rain up this direction. And so we were out dancing in the mud this morning. Hawkins Family Adventures is here, and I think Sandra mentioned she's going to have a live stream tomorrow for her AA meeting, so be sure to check her out. Oh, I was going to ask you, Tim, if you guys got rain. You got half a drop. All right. That's usually what we end up with is 14 inches of rain. That's about one drop every 14 inches. But yesterday we did pretty good. Supposedly we're going to have a good monsoon. Thank you, Patty. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Half an inch. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. And the nice thing, especially, was that it was a nice, easy drizzle. A lot of times during monsoon season, we have these huge downpours. And so the rain hits the ground and it takes off. It can't soak it in fast enough and it runs down all the dry washes and ends up flooding because the ground cannot absorb it quick enough. But yesterday was a nice drizzle, not really hard rain, and it's going to do the desert a lot of good. Step Van Dan is here. Good morning. Good morning. Saying hello to everybody. Hope you're doing well, Dan. Lily says hello. She is driving. Okay. Yeah. I know for most of you folks, you get a lot of rain where you're at. I think we get about 12 inches a year total. And I know some places get 12 inches in a couple of days, but we get 12 inches in a year. And so when it rains here, we really celebrate it. And the majority of our rain that we receive is during the monsoon season. Typically, average about 6 inches of rain during monsoon. The last couple years has been around 4. So we're really running a deficit. And then this winter, we had virtually no rain. So we had no poppies to speak of this spring because there wasn't any rain to germinate with. So hopefully we've turned the corner and we'll get some more. I got to see the lightning, but almost no rain in my house in San Diego. Moving day. Yeah, that should be interesting. So CR View modified, excuse me, modified his rig and put some solar panels on top. So that'll be interesting to see. And you're probably not going far. Okay, it went south of you. Okay. Excuse me, allergies. All right. So, is it June already? Yeah, I guess it is. It's June 2nd. Boy, time flies, right? We're already just about halfway through the year. And do we have any June birthdays that anybody knows of? Because I have a video for the June birthday folks. Here we go. All right, there's one right there. Yes, June 18th. So happy birthday to Tim, who turned 60 on June 18th. Still a youngster, Tim, still a youngster. I got you by about 9 years and a month. So happy birthday to Tim and all the other folks that were born in June. Traveling on Adventures is going to be live at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I pinned their live stream to the top of the chat. So if you have time, swing by and say hello. There's Fairy Dust. Good morning. Good morning. Happy birthday. Awesome. What else is going on? Traveling on Adventures dropped a video. They do really good videos and they work hard on them. They dropped a video on their visit to the Ironwood Monument, and I thought I would share a little bit of that with you, if you don't mind. Let me see if I can find it. Traveling on Adventures. Scrolling. I'm looking for their channel. There it is. Traveling on Adventures. I'm going to bring it up and then play a little bit of it for you. Okay, there it is. I've got it queued up. White hair license, huh? Yeah. Oh, flirt with the pretty girls. No. There comes a time when you get too old to even do that. I guess flirting is okay. I don't know. Yeah, happy birthday. Same age as Step Van Dan. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so let me share this. And I want to show you, share screen, and exploring the beauty of the Ironwood Forest.
A giant prickly pear.
See, these are starting to bloom too. Right here.
Oh, wow. So
Because the
cool.
rain has been in so short supply, there's not a whole lot of flowering going on.
Right.
Today and not tomorrow. There's no time to borrow, time to borrow.
Came once before, but what happened?
Somebody deleted all the footage.
All the footage got deleted. Can you
Yeah.
believe that?
It was crazy. I don't know how I deleted it, but I did. Sorry, there's a car going by. But yeah, we're gonna go meet up with our good friend Steve and Oki,
Yeah.
and they're gonna take us on a round two of the tour
Of
of the
Ironwood.
Ironwood National Monument.
Yes.
So here we go.
All right, come along.
An ironwood tree. We're inside the Ironwood Forest National Monument, which was named after these trees. And these are old growth trees. They can live up to 1,800 years old. They have one documented in quartzite. It's 1,800. They're a hardwood, and they're starting to flower now. If you look closely, you can see some of the buds. The leaves start turning yellow, and then right here are some of the flowers that are getting ready to come out, and they're kind of a pinkish lavender color. But a few more weeks, they'll be all leaf or all flowered out.
Wow. Here's a group of cactus together, having a meeting or something. They're all grouped together here.
Well, oh wow! But it's still
Yeah, you had told us about that. That's how the birds can.
can land on top
Yeah.
of it. It's a little stiff. Now, when they're growing, they're actively growing. They're pretty soft. All right. So yeah, we had a nice spent the day with Terry and Earl showing them around the monument, which included Ragged Top Mountain back behind me, and we had a great time. Um, Anyone who comes out to the area and camps out here, I show them around. It's something I really enjoy doing. Oki and I have lived out here for 20 years, and so we know just about every trail out here, and then a lot of the history. Harmless flirting is okay, according to Brene. Yeah, we did too. We did pretty well with the ironwood blooms this year. We A lot of the cactus didn't get enough water, so most of the cactus that we usually see bloomed out had just one or two blooms on them this summer so far, and hopefully with the change in the rain, I have a visitor here that wants to say hello. Hopefully, with the change of the rain, that'll help. Here we go. Here's Mr. Lucas right here. Good morning, Lucas. Good morning. Say hello. Yeah, he's been out playing this morning in the mud. We went out and tromped around in the mud puddles this morning. Doesn't last long though, it soaks in really fast. You a good boy? Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah. Yeah, all right. There's Lucas saying hello. Oh yeah, I remember Patty was at the meetup at the last meetup, and I took multiple groups out into the monument and showed them around. And glad you enjoyed it, Patty. Welcome, welcome, Ronox Drawing and Scenery. Hello, hello. There's Have Cheetah Will View. Seems like a lot of people have had accidents this year. I know that when we don't have rain here for sometimes months on end. And then we get a rain like yesterday, there's a lot of car accidents because what happens is, over time, that oil and tire, wear on the streets doesn't get washed away. And so once it rains, it becomes slick, very slick like ice. We had a lot of accidents yesterday in town, and people just not paying attention. They think that, well, I can go 50 miles an hour down this road just like I do every morning when I go to work. When it's wet, you can't do 50 miles an hour down that road after it rains until it washes some of that away. And so there were a lot of accidents. 20 years of snake visiting. That's incredible. Knock on wood, we haven't had any rattlesnakes on our place yet this year. And I say yet because we will have one or two. I think last year we only had two. And I don't know if the lack of rain affects the population. I would think it does. Yeah, I had a great weekend. Every day is a Saturday here, but we had a good weekend. All right, and be sure if you're not subscribed to Patrick's channel, Have Cheetah Will View. He does a lot of interviews with people in the movie industry. He does movie reviews. That's his thing, and always interesting to watch, especially interviews with a lot of independent movie people who make their own and fund their own movies. So very interesting. Let's see. I mentioned Traveling on Adventures is live today. Hey, you guys, did you know that today is National Donut Day? I was scratching around looking for things to talk about this morning, and I discovered that. I love indie films. Yep. Today is National Donut Day. Now, I've been trying to cut back on that good food like that because it puts the weight on me and makes my blood sugar go up, and boy, do I love it though. Once in a while is okay, right? I think so. Here's a little video of prickly pear fruit that I was showing. These will be coming out here real soon after the flower blooms, and it's the bees come in and pollinate it. Then we end up with prickly pear fruit like this. Ooh, stickers. Let's taste it, see how it tastes. Sweet. Oh, yeah. We got seeds in there. Yeah, nice and sweet. Prickly pear jelly. Yummy, yummy. Yeah, so that's what it looks like, and it's really sweet. If you go to a store around the Tucson, Phoenix area, you can find prickly pear jam, and it's really sweet, bright red, and the critters like it, especially the desert tortoise. Oh yeah, Quartzsite does not have a donut shop, huh? I'll bet that would be popular up there. Richard B is here. Hello, hello. We had a big rain in Quartzsite, washed 3 rattlers, 13 rattlers in the park. Ooh, good morning, Richard. Welcome. Had a maple bar for breakfast yesterday, Ava says. Oh, I love those. What? National Donut Day? You are allowed to have a donut. Okay. We passed the donut shop, and sometimes you just got to pull in. Ew, I fried donuts at Heavenly Donuts when I was 19, 20. We could eat all we wanted. Wow. And you can eat most everything when you're 19 and 20 years old, huh? Oh, gained 35 pounds. Yeah. One thing, and Patty, last Monday I mentioned this. I've been trying to cut back on sugar. That includes donuts, and I'm trying to cut back because, I was pushing 235. I've been as high as 250, but I'm right around 235. The last time I was in the doctor, my blood sugar was elevated, and she's threatening to put me on medication, which I don't want to do. So I got serious and I cut out my chocolate that I was having every day. I was having multiple pieces of chocolate. I cut out bread. I love bread. Having toast for breakfast and then a sandwich and maybe a slice of toast in the afternoon. That was too much. Anyway, so I cut out the bread, I cut out the sugar. Those are the two main things. Trying to cut back on gluten. And I have shed about 20 pounds in the last month or 6 weeks. So I haven't changed anything else that I'm eating, but I need to get my blood sugar down because I don't want to be on meds if I can control it. And that's something I struggle with. Do I eat whatever I want? Do I go out and have a donut whenever I feel like it? I was also eating a lot of fast food. I love Lucky Wishbone. Lucky Wishbone has a lot of deep fried foods. They have a great hamburger on garlic toast with lots of butter, um, hamburgers, whatever's out there. I was eating a lot of fast food. And so I've cut back on that. and the weight is dropping. And hopefully my blood sugar and will be back to normal. I look at Lucas wanting some action. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of how we are now. You can eat them once in a while. That's about it. That's the problem. That's the problem. And potato chips are like that for me too. Open a bag of chips, and if I don't open it, well, it's better not to have it in the house. But I mean, you got to have some junk food once in a while, right? So once I open it, then 2 days later, it's gone. They called me Rattlesnake Richard that year. I'll bet, Richard. Richard, we've had a lot of rattlesnakes here. In fact, probably the busiest year we had was in 2009, and we had 12 rattlesnakes around the property around the house. Now, generally, I'll leave them alone unless they're close to the house or Rocky the Rattler pops up, and he likes to nap once in a while, and then when he wakes up, he's nice and friendly. He's not a biter or anything, but typically when they're up around the house, um, if they leave, when they see me, if they leave and they take off, they live to be alive another day. But I can't risk having the dog bit or any of my family bit. So I usually will send them to snake heaven when they're around the house. There's plenty of, there's 129,000 acres out there. They can live out there. This is my house. Patty's stopped eating most sugar too. Yeah. And, and most carbs. Yeah. And it's hard to cut out carbs completely, isn't it? And there are good carbs. Now, Oki is big into rice because she's Asian and she's grown up on rice, and we have rice for at least 2 meals, sometimes 3. But I've cut back on that rice, and that rice is a good carb. It's not junk. It's actually good food for you. Yeah, high in donuts are high in calories, fat, and sugar. Yeah. Oh, glazed is my favorite. Plain old fashioned donut can have around 410 calories. Yeah, very true. That's right. And I feel a lot better cutting back on the sugar. I I think it even helps my vision too. You know, chocolate is addicting. I have a addictive personality. I've always had that. And what I try to do is be addicted to good things. Well, I was addicted to chocolate. So, after breakfast, I would eat a couple, walk through the kitchen. They're right there, one or two more. And throughout the day, I'm munching on chocolate. And it's dark chocolate, but it's still got sugar in it. And I can't do that anymore. I know glazed is my favorite too. Oh, cream filled ones. Oh, yeah. All right. We're probably going to have a run on the donut shop. um, in fact, in Little Marana, we're 15 miles from I 10 from the Marana exit. Dunkin' Donuts is building a new store up there at the Marana exit. And maybe the donut holes would be okay. Sometimes we'll stop and get those. And I had a doctor tell me once, a VA doctor tell me, she does cheating on 1 day a week. She says, "You can cheat 1 day a week, don't do any more than that." And for her, it was on Friday. And so she said on Friday, I wouldn't go crazy, but I would indulge in what I liked. And so maybe that would be okay. I don't know. She Devil Adventures is here. Good morning, Tommy. Hope you're doing well. Oh, okay. You were in an RV mobile home park. Oh, yeah. And that's something you have to be mindful of in the desert. So if you have a porch or you have, an under space area like underneath a trailer or an RV, you have to be mindful when you step out. What happens here in the desert is pack rats and mice will move in underneath these protected areas. And then, of course, the snakes come in after them because that's their food source. And so everything I have built on our property, I've put, at least a 12-inch gap off the ground, like if it's a shed or something like that, so that we can see underneath it. And the reason for that is exactly snakes. We could fill our donuts, would fill the lemon with a ton of lemon. Yum. Ooh, boy. I'm getting hungry for donuts. Oh, Richard said Quartzsite used to have a donut shop. Wonder why. Of course, Quartzsite is primarily a winter destination. So you have to be able to make enough money, enough income in the winter to carry you through the summer when most people leave. Now, if you guys don't know, CR View is a full-time resident along with Roy and Becky's Travels. They live up there in Quartzsite full-time. Lucas is back. And they make it through the summer, but they're one of the few that do. They are actually boondocking most of the time if they're not parked in an RV park, which I don't think they're doing this year. But CR View is a full-time resident up there in Quartzsite now. Lemon yum. Tommy saying hello. Here comes Fairy Dust. The Donut Man made peanut butter and jelly filled glazed donuts. But I can't have but once a year. Yeah. And there is a local donut shop. I forgot the name of it now in town that makes their own donuts. It's locally owned, and boy, they're good. They are good. All right, I'm going to run my members video real quick. Let me see what Tim has. RV park is our backup plan. I agree. Yeah, there's not enough room, not enough elbow room. All right, let me find my members video. Cough, cough, cough. There we go. Be right back.
To all my members out there, you lift me up so high. The support you give me makes me touch the sky. In every lonely moment, when shadows start to fall, your love shines like a beacon. I hear your heartfelt call. Thank you, dear members, for standing by my side. With your strength and courage, we take this wild ride. From morning's glow to starry night, you're the reason I shine, my forever guiding light. In the desert where it's dry, where the cacti proudly stand, you're my loyal companions, my devoted band. Through rocky trails and valleys, we gather every mile. Hand in hand we wander with your endless smiles. Thank you, dear members, for standing by my side. With your strength and courage, we take this wild ride. From morning's glow to starry night, you're the reason I shine, my forever guiding light. Desert where it's dry, where the cacti proudly stand, you're my loyal companions, my devoted band. Through rocky trails and valleys, we gather every mile. Hand in hand we wander with your endless smiles.
All right. Thank you, members. Appreciate your support very much. Richard shared his rat trap with a camper in Quartzsite. Yeah, that's a good tool to have up there. And she's back. Hawkins Family Adventures is back. She's been struggling with her fur baby, Copper, who has not been well. So prayers for Copper. That's right, Patty. You got to have some good battery power. and CRView has it, definitely has it. So he's adding some solar. Gee whiz, it's like 2,000 watts of solar, I think. He's going to have close to on top of the rig. Should be interesting to see how that does. And then Tim has 2 window units installed. In fact, I run a window unit here in this office solar too. It's a 5,000 BTU, and I can run that all day long off of solar if it's not cloudy, and it works pretty well. But I've got 600 amp hours of batteries and about 900 watts of solar on the ground. All right, what else is going on? Boy, my allergies are kicking my butt. Another channel member here. I've got artist, storyteller Donnie and Smoky Mountain Bless Cup. So they do drive streams up there in Gatlinburg. So be sure to check them out. What else? Oh, you know what else today is? It's National Leave the Office Early Day. National Leave the Office Early Day. Do you really need a special day to leave the office early? I don't think so. I got a Starlink Mini. Well, oh, great. Yeah, I've got one too, Patty. In fact, we're going to use it when we go up to the forest, which we're talking about doing. So I've got a Starlink on the house. And what I was having to do was when we took off in the RV, I'd have to climb up on the roof and take the Starlink off the house, disconnect everything, unplug it, throw it in the RV, and off we went. Well, it worked fine, except that I didn't have any security cameras at the house when I removed the Starlink. And that bothered me. We did have some neighbor friends watching our place while we were gone, but not having cameras, this day and age, you've got to have security cameras because people will come in and just take your stuff. So I bought one of these and I didn't get this one on sale. They went on sale for $250 after I bought this one. And then shortly after that, if you signed up for 12 months, you could get one of these free. Well, I paid about $500 for this one. I bought the extra protector that goes around it, but this is really cool, really cool. And I did a couple of test drive streams with this, driving around the monument and parking out there at the base of Ragged Top. I actually live streamed out there, out inside the monument. It worked pretty well. They sell a mount, Patty, that you can buy on Starlink's website. So it's one of the options you can buy. I made mine out of some stuff I had laying around here, and maybe it was you that mentioned it. I use magnets, so I made a mount and I put the mount on the Cherokee with magnets, and then I mount this to the top of that mount on a pipe using a pipe mount that slides in here. And it works really well. And then I just plugged it into my battery pack, my EcoFlow battery pack, and it works great. So we're going to take this with us when we go RV camping and use it for that. It should work. The nice thing about this Starlink Mini is you can turn it on and turn it off as you need it. You get 50 gigabytes a month for $50. And then every gigabyte you go over, they just charge you, I don't know what it is, $1 a gigabyte or something like that if you go over that. So it's really, the technology is really moving along pretty well. Thank you, Elon Musk. And then I was able to turn off roaming on the house Starlink. So that saves $25 a month. So basically, when I have this turned on, it's an extra $25 a month for Starlink, our Starlink bill. So it's well worth it to have that and to take it with us. Fox Fan D is here. Good morning, D. Good to see you. And then it's got a nice little carry pouch and everything to throw it in. So should work out really well for camping. We'll see. We're talking about going up to Sitgreaves National Forest towards the end of this month, after Father's Day, I think. And then I think we'll be up there for one Monday live stream. So I'll probably be able to live stream off of this up in the forest. I have the second generation Starlink. Yeah, and I think that's what I have, Tommy. It's the the square one. The first gen was the round one, right? The round dish. So that's a good point, Tommy. So if your first, version, you start having trouble with it, and this one that I have is, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old, it would be a good replacement for that. Misha's here. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. Ringo popped in. Good morning, Kyle. Good to have you. I just got him out with Magnus, planning to use on my dashboard. Yeah, and I'm dealing with that with my Wrangler. It has the fiberglass top on it, so I can't mount with magnets. I tried putting a magnet underneath and then maybe one, but it's still not strong enough. So to take it on the Wrangler, I would have to either put it in the dashboard, which is difficult, or glue it to the top somehow. Scrolling. Everybody's saying hello. So anyway, that's our status here in the Ironwood Forest National Monument. Dee, we had a nice rain yesterday, almost a half an inch, and I put the drone up this morning. I stepped outside and saw this view behind me with the clouds, and told Oki, I got to put the drone up and capture this. So I've got some nice video that I captured with the clouds rolling along the Ragged Top Mountain there. And it's really nice to be able to take off from the back porch, fly out, and then just kind of record and in the monument. So Misha says it's 90 where she is. We're only in the 80s today. Let's see what we got. Hey Siri, what's the weather here today?
Should be sunny today. Daytime temperatures will hover around 84 degrees, with overnight lows around 65.
That's pretty cool for June. Very unusual. But I understand that this weekend, Oki was looking at the weather. We're going to be hitting 100 again this weekend coming up. So you barely got sprinkled. Well, a little bit is better than none, huh? Oh, thank you, Tim. I dropped a members only video this morning. Thank you, Misha. I appreciate it. You know what? It's to be able to put a drone up in the air, 200 feet or so, or wherever you want it, and to be able to fly, learn to fly, and take nice cinematic video. A lot of the drone video you see out there are kids doing this. They're whipping around and especially with the FPV drones, they're whipping around, and I don't like to watch videos like that. It makes me sick to my stomach. So I like to do nice, easy turns and nice, cinematic type video, and it takes time to learn that. And the nice thing about being out here in the monument, now normally you can't fly in national monuments or national parks. This area is unique out here that it's a military operations area. So military pilots fly out here. They fly their choppers. There's a base, an Army National Guard base out by the freeway. And so they're doing their low-level training out here. Also, the Air Force flies through. on just before Ragatop, there is a valley there, and they'll fly through that valley for some of their low level training. So it's not restricted airspace in that regard. And the app that I have that tells me whether I can fly or not shows it clear for flight, for drone flight out in this area. Very unique area in that regard. You usually won't find that for drone flying. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoy it, especially having a nice camera and getting some good footage. So my allergies are really kicking up this morning. July temperature will be good on Route 66. Well, we're coming into the monsoon season here, so it's pretty much a crapshoot. Now, what happens during monsoon is if we get moisture flow coming up from Mexico, it's not rain per se, but moisture comes up through Mexico and then settles here in Arizona, and then we get a hot 100-degree day. It'll spawn these huge storms, strong storms, not always huge, and then we'll get downpours of rain. So that's typically what our monsoon turns out to be. And so you have to be aware of where you're at, and going through washes and things like that can get pretty dangerous during monsoon season. All right, so National Donut Day and National Leave the Office Early Day. That's the two significant things I found this morning when I was looking for stuff to talk about. MSM, is that what is MSM, Patty? I do take allergy nasal spray if I need it, or the regular allergy pills when I need it. I haven't taken anything today. I only take it when I absolutely need it. The stuff for joints, okay. That's right. And now that we've had rain, we're probably going to have bugs. Yeah, and what we do in the summer when it gets hot is we go out early. So we're generally up with the sun. One thing I really enjoy doing is seeing the morning sunrise and the evening sunset. So you'll find us up at the crack of dawn, and we're outside walking with Lucas, walking around the property, watching the sun, show on Ragatop Mountain. And oh yeah, I forgot you can do that stuff. Ragatop Mountain, and just enjoying the morning, the cool mornings. And then if we have any outside work to do, gardening or whatever, we do it first thing in the morning. And then we're in by 9 or 10 o'clock when it starts, getting close to 100. We're inside watching YouTube or doing whatever inside. So that's kind of how we handle the summers. Now, the winter, we're different. We'll stay inside until it warms up, and then we go out and do our chores. But the summer, we're out early and then back in. Fairy Dust saying hello to CR View. All right, what else do I have to show you? Rattlesnake in the yard. This is a video I've shown before. These are rattlesnakes that got into our garden area. Okay, hold on to it for a second. I think I got him. Yep, we get those around here. We again, we only had two last year, so hopefully, and with the drought, I think the rodent population is down, so maybe the snake population will be down too. Yeah, I know. You know, we're all different. Some of us are not morning people. I happen to be a morning person, and luckily, so is Oki. We're up early, regardless, and and we enjoy being up early, but we're not late night people. So, if you enjoy staying up late at night, my my most productive times, even when I was working, was early in the morning. I, would bust my butt to get everything done early. And then in the afternoon when it's hot, and I think a lot of that comes from growing up in the desert too. That's a big word, Patty. I can't even pronounce that. Something you can take every day. MSM, methyl sulfomethane. Okay. Tommy says, sounds like me too, huh? Yeah, and we're all different, right? You all do the thing that fits best with you, and some of us sleep late. Me, all those years I was working for the electric co-op, I was up at 3 a.m. into work by 6. And so all those years I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's hard to break that habit. No snake gardens, right? And so we do have to be careful when we're out gardening and watering, and we have to be careful. And we've had a lot of close calls. I'm up early, just not as productive. Okay, I hear you. 2 a.m. sometimes. No more PT though, huh, Misha? Yeah. Okay, yeah, and that's true. Yeah, driving is good in the morning, except when you're going to work, and you're probably Tommy. You're probably still working, right? You're going to work. I don't know what it is. I think in Arizona they have been pretty liberal with marijuana is legal here now, and what we're finding is there are a lot of people driving that are under the influence. And I'm not going to judge whether marijuana is good or bad, but there's a lot of other drugs out there that people are taking. And I don't ride my motorcycle much anymore because there are just too many people doing too many stupid things on the roads. And my family needs me to be around for them. So I have backed off on my motorcycle riding. I still will go out into the valley and I'll ride a couple of rural roads once or twice a month. But until things change, and I don't know if they will, there are a lot of drugs. People are taking a lot of drugs here in Arizona, and driving under the influence, and it's just not safe. In fact, almost every single day on the news, there's somebody on a motorcycle that got hit, and a lot of them don't make it. If you want to start early, go to camp. I'm up at 3 a.m. Yeah, I hear you. Tommy's still working, but I work from home. So I literally walk to work, and that's nice. That's a definite benefit when you don't have to pay the fuel. And we have a neighbor who works for the University of Arizona, and during COVID, I think she had to go in once a week for meetings. She actually counsels students, and they're mostly foreign students that are going to the U of A. She would counsel them and help them along picking their classes and whatever problems they encountered. But now I think she's going to work 4 or 5 days a week, and she's home one day. Yeah, it is nice. If I'm up at 8, it's because I haven't been to bed yet. Oh, man. Now, I had those nights when I worked for the electric co-op, especially during storm season, when we had monsoon storms in typically July, August, and part of September. They blow poles down, they blow power lines down, and when the power's out, as a technician, I was in the substations or out helping the line crews. You were out all night and you didn't go home until the power was back on. Now they've kind of evolved that, recognizing that it's a safety issue. If you're working 18, 24 hours, it becomes a safety issue if you're out there too long. But generally, we were out all night. Most of the time, the storms roll in the afternoons, late afternoons, early evenings. So that's when all the damage would occur. And then you're out driving power lines, trying to figure out how many poles do you have down? Who do we need to get out here working? Do we have any electric substation damage with lightning and things like that? So, we take for granted flipping the switch and the light comes on, but there's a lot that goes behind that and keeping the lights on, especially during storm season. So I remember those all-nighters. I made a really good money during that time, but boy, oh boy, it really tired you out. Yeah, it's such a shame with all the drinking and drugs, you can't ride much. Yeah. And, my reactions probably not as good as it used to be. I'm 69 years old, pushing 70 next year. I will be 70 next year, and so I'm cautious about getting out there and mixing it up too much with those that are under the influence, because you don't know what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. I know one day I was in the truck with Merton from Merton and Sue, and we were going to the races, and I was turning left, and this woman cut right in front of us, and luckily he hollered, "Stop!" And so I jammed on the brakes. We were in the truck, and she just almost clipped me on the right front corner because she took the turn right at the last second, and I think she was under the influence too. So if I'd have been on the motorcycle, she would have took me out for sure. So I run that through my mind all the time. Well, look at that. We're already to an hour. So thanks everybody for putting up with my coughing and hacking. And thanks everybody for being here today. Hope you have a great Monday. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Wake up to a brand new day. Smile at the sun's warm ray. Greet the world with open arms. Spread good vibes and charms. Kind words change the scene. Make life feel like a dream. Help someone who's in need. Plant a little kindness seed. Shine bright like a star. No matter where you are, kindness takes you far. fund. No need for heavy